Okay, so getting right into it. This is an interesting category product that's out there. This is the Canon Selphy, and it's a die-sub 4x6 printer. And just a show of hands, who here has a dedicated 4x6 little printer? Okay, do you love it, or is it
great?
It's great.
Not happy.
You know, you're not happy? Do you have an Epson?
It's a HP.
It's HP. Okay, I'm gonna tell you why we love this one. I have an Epson Dash, and I loved it when I first got it. And the beauty of these little printers is that where's my digital camera? It's in my pocket. Okay. I give a class called Intro to Digital SLR, and I say one of the big advantages of digital photography is being able to print your shots. On the same slide, I list disadvantages, and I say print your shots, because it's a blessing and a curse at the same time. It's something that you have to stay on top of. These little 4x6 printers are super cool. You take the memory card right out of your camera, and then you plug it into the top of it. It's got a 3-inch screen, and you can cycle through the pictures you've taken. And as you go through, you say, I like this one, yes. I like this one, yes. No, too dark, I don't care for that one. Maybe if you want, you can even play with actually enhancing it and bringing out some detail in the shadows. But you go through it, and then you get to a picture that has your dad, your brother, and your cousin in the same picture. That one you hit 3, and it'll print 3 of those as opposed to 1. So you go through and you program it, and then you press go, and it spits out these 4x6 pictures. I think it's a wonderful thing, because the problem with digital photography is that we're taking more photographs than we've ever taken before in our history. And we're probably seeing less hard copy pictures than we've ever seen in our history. The trick about photography is taking a picture and actually having it. So here's what we got going on. First off, this thing is little. It has a little handle up on top. So it's meant to travel. So you can take it to a family gathering. You could take it to an event, a bar mitzvah, whatever. You take pictures and you're just spitting out pictures right there. Almost like a Polaroid camera in that respect. But the difference with this one, and I'm really happy with it, is that it's a die sublimation printer, which means that when you get a package of prints with it, you get a ribbon. And the ribbon, through a thermal transfer, puts the picture onto the paper. When you buy a pack of 50 for $13.95 or $12.95, you get 50 pictures. You actually get 50 pictures. Where on the Epson and the HP that you have, if you buy a pack of 50 pictures or 100 pictures and the ink set for it, they never have enough ink for all the paper that they give you. And that just, you know, that really frustrated me, because I ended up with stacks of 4x5 paper, and I didn't have as much printing, the ink for it. The other thing is, if you don't use your printer, inkjet printer, for a period of time, the ink kind of dries up, and then what you have to do is you've got to go through a print maintenance, an inkjet maintenance, and you end up using about 10% of your ink for the inkjet maintenance. The ink and the paper come together. Now, I did a little bit of math, and it does cost more than the inkjet version of it, but the inkjet version of it is, where the inkjet version's a little cheaper, you're going to spend more on the consumables for it than you will for this. This, you can walk away from it and take a picture 6 months later and print it out, and it doesn't. There's no waste. You don't have to do the head maintenance.
The consumables don't dry out then.
The consumables don't dry out. Yeah. I mean, I don't know for a couple of years what'll happen then, but certainly my printer that I like to use, I go to use it. If I went home and used it now, I haven't used it in 2 months. I'm going to have to run through that print maintenance. And it really, the Epson actually bothered me on a personal level, because I liked the pictures that came out of it. I liked using it. It was fun. But I didn't use it for a couple of months, and then I had to go back and forth. Also, another thing that happens with it, this is fun. I brought home the Epson last year, and my wife is like, oh, another printer. What the hell's wrong with you? But then she started seeing that I was printing out candid shots that you normally don't print out. You don't print. Who just came in, by the way? Who's the last guy? I got a raffle ticket for you. There you go. Good luck. Okay. So I thought it was a great idea, and then in the end I was disappointed with the Epson. But we did some research on this, and everyone's raving about this little guy. It's small. Now there's 2 versions of it. There's another one. There's one for $124. Then there's one for $169. The $169 one has a 2 gig internal memory, so you can actually take pictures and transfer it over. I haven't quite figured out why I would want that yet, or how to justify that, but yeah.
What is the size of this one?
4x6.
No,
know what it's about? Well, if you can picture, this is a 4x6 print, and this is the handhold for it. It's like that big.
I see.
It's quite
It's like
small.
the Epson picture mate.
Yeah, picture.
Are they going to come out with any other formats in a 4x6? I'm looking at, say, going to an event and printing badges right on the spot for somebody. Or they do paper that could actually print out and detach.
Canon does on. They have a couple of lines in the Selphy line, and they have some creative
There's
packs.
stickers.
And
So there is different paper packs.
Yeah, there is some different paper packs. Yeah,
Cool.
there is a couple of options if you check it out. We actually did an event on it the other day, and I was on here for about a half hour of it. But they even had they had some crazy stuff. They had a paper doll bear that was made out of inkjet paper, and the fur was done from the inkjet paper. It was really the coolest little thing. It was articulated with arms and legs. Canon really stepped up on that and produced some pretty cool stuff. So that's the Dice Up 4x6 printer. Guys, all I can say, for those of you that have one, turn around and ask the person who has one. They're really fun, they're cool, and you'll get candid pictures once again just to hand off to people. It's a wonderful little toy, and having the screen in it makes it so user friendly. It's a breeze to use, and it's archival. The prints will last over 100 years. So you know that, unlike the little snapshots I have of my family from the 50s and 60s that are all fading, this stuff is going to last much longer. So it's a pretty good thing. Okay, digital frames. Digital frames, we are in the era of the digital frame. There is a lot of companies making digital frames now. They're really pumping out these LCD frames. So instead of going over a bunch of them, I did a little research and found that on a digital frame, what do you really want? You don't want to spend you don't want to spend a lot of money, and it should be relatively inexpensive and give you a really clear picture. Sony has the best digital frames that are out there. They've got a 9-inch and a 7-inch, and they're coming out with an 8-inch, but they have a 9 and a 7-inch. And the cool part about this is that, first off, it'll take any memory. It has a 256 internal megabyte memory. And what you could do is you could take any memory card, memory stick, compact flash, type 1, type 2, SD, MMC. You plug it into the back of the frame, and then you could transfer your pictures over to the internal memory, or you could just keep a memory card. We have 2 gig cards for like $8 now. Boy, has memory dropped in price. So you could buy a memory card just to put pictures on and drop it into the back of the frame. Now it has a whole bunch of different wipes and fades it'll do between transition between pictures, so you can program it and fool around with it. Some other cool things it'll do is, in the middle of you showing your pictures, it'll switch over to a camera and a clock. Not a camera, a calendar and a clock. So putting it like in an office, it's kind of useful to have something cycling through pictures, then cycling through a clock. That's kind of neat. The nice thing about it, we have them on display. The store will be closed after 7, but it has this real nice lacquer black frame, and it's got a really good, sharp, clear picture on it. And for $119, in terms of giving gifts, could you imagine loading up pictures onto a digital frame like this and giving it to somebody? Like I shot my dad. My dad got remarried in '83, Mazel Tov, and so it'd be really sharp. I think for the stuff, I think I could swing $119 for him. I could load up his wedding pictures onto that, send that to him, and he's going to think that that's like the bee's knees. So it's pretty sharp.
How do you control it?
It actually comes with a remote control, or you can just set it up and tell it to do, program it to do what you want to do. Or with a remote control, you can sit there and do it. It's pretty sharp, and I like the price. Again, it's the 7-inch for $120, relatively cheap. And who knows, if you win a gift card, you'll be able to pick it up for $75 or $19.
Now, is battery operated?
It is AC operated. AC. Only AC, no battery. Yeah.
Plug it in the wall.
Plug it into the wall. Yeah, it's still a 7-inch, 9-inch frame. It's still pretty big. I think if it was battery operated, it wouldn't give you much life on it. And the idea with it, I've been seeing a lot of people using them, putting them on their desks and their cubicles, things like that. It's just constantly on and constantly going.
Yeah, how do you say power this thing? I'm sorry, how do you say it's powered?
AC power. Comes with an AC adapter.
Plug in the wall.
Plug in the wall, 110, 240.
How much do these babies cost?
Well, the 7-inch one is $119 and the 9-inch one is $219. And they range in price. I have them from about $100 up to about $300 in different sizes. I'd say that you have a lot of choices with the digital frames, but the Sony one, Sony's a good company. It delivers a very good, sharp, clear picture, and also it's very backlit, so it's very bright. And they're nice. I think it's a cool gift idea.